won't start. All right, been a while since I've shot some video. Figure I'll do an update. Today I'm actually going to go for the first time and go find my nice little abandoned airport strip and play around with drag mode. Try to get some 0-60 times in, maybe a few quarter-mile times in. But just kind of wanted to talk. Bought the car with 43 miles. Have 2,331. I've had the car for about 5 weeks, so yeah, I've been driving the hell out of it. I have really enjoyed it. So some things that I've really liked, and there's some things that I'm on the fence about. I really like the automatic. I didn't realize I was going to like it as much as I do. I like the way that the automatic keeps the car in the power band. It's just incredible. The shifts are so fast and so smooth, you don't even realize that the car is shifting gears. And I've just never experienced an automatic like this one. This is hands down the best automatic car I've ever driven in my entire life. Now, as far as the automatic shifter goes, I do have to admit that sometimes it has a hard time deciding what gear it wants to be in, which can be irritating. You'll be going and it'll be shifting when you didn't really expect it to. Sometimes it can't decide, you know, especially when you're getting into it, what gear it wants to be in. So that can at times be very frustrating dealing with that. I like driving Sport Plus mode. The feel of the wheel, much nicer. Yes, I know that you can do the same thing, that you can change which the steering wheel comfort that you want to use. But I like the throttle response in Sport Plus. There is definitely a difference between just regular mode and Sport Plus. When you touch the throttle in Sport Plus, she's ready to get up and get moving, and I like that. I find that fun. I like the fact that this car, and this might seem silly to some of you out there, you think that this is, you know, a big deal, but the fact that this car has that right there, this car tells you what the air pressure is in its individual tire. I can't tell you how many cars that I've owned that had tire pressure monitoring systems, and the stupid things can tell you that a tire is low, but it can't tell you which tire it is. I find that absolutely ridiculous. If you can tell me that the tires are low, you should be able to tell me which one it is. I just thank you, Ford, for putting it in this car, because the last few cars that I've had the TPMS didn't do that. I find it ridiculous. I absolutely love the exhaust tone on this car. The fact that I can take a resonator delete and put it on this car and my exhaust sound the way that it does, which hopefully you heard at the beginning of this clip, is insane. It's absolutely insane. I get so many compliments on this exhaust, and people want to know what I'm running, and when I tell them, man, it's pretty much the stock exhaust with the resonator taken out, they don't believe me. They can't believe that Ford would produce a car that would sound this good. And yeah, I am super impressed with that. I don't know if I even need to think about doing a catback at this point. It sounds so good, and I don't want something to be loud and obnoxious, and this just might be the perfect tone. So we'll see. I don't know, I say that. But I think probably the next steps for the car is I'm going to go ahead and get the John Lund Flex Fuel E85 tune. I had thought that E85 in my area was a little more readily available than it is. It's not. There is, you know, the Flex Fuel. It's about $1.99 a gallon, which is about $1 less than I'm paying for 93. I know there's pros and cons. I know there's not as much energy in E85. You're not going to necessarily get better gas. Your way, you're not going to get better gas mileage. You will get better performance. And I know it's a trade-off, so we'll see. But I would like to have the tune just in case I ran into E85 and I could do that and just kind of see what the performance of the car would be. Springs, I'm going to get springs. I don't feel like this car has the 4x4 look that my 04 Terminator had when I first got it, but I still think that it needs to be lowered. For me, it's for looks. It has nothing to do with performance, just solely for looks. Lowered, and honestly, and I say that this is going to be a year away, but who knows? I'm going to put a blower on it. I have always had cars. All my Mustangs have been blown. And that, I think, just from what I'm seeing and understanding and reading about these Coyote engines, they are amazing, and they do amazing under boost. I want to boost this car. My goal is to have a 700 real wheel horsepower daily driver, and I think that I can do that very easily with a supercharger, preferably, well, not preferably, specifically Whipple Stage 2, the 3.0-liter supercharger. That's what I'm looking at. I feel like that would give me the performance that I'm looking for. And I gotta tell you, I had a Vortex supercharger on my 93 Cobra, and I love that whistle. That's an amazing sound. And those superchargers, they're fun when you get them up to a certain RPM. For the Cobra, about 3,200 RPM, the supercharger would really start to go, and man, it was fun. I loved it. But when I got the Terminator and was able to experience the Root style supercharger, that changed the game for me. I tell you, the fact that you have pretty much instant torque and instant horsepower as soon as you hit the throttle on that car was ridiculous. And let's just be honest, they sound amazing. I love the whistle, but I love the whine. That whine was amazing. It would put a smile on my face every single time listening to that thing. And the 04 was not ported. It was just a stock Eaton. I did not have any smaller pulleys on it. The only thing that I had done to it was an exhaust and a cold air intake and an MGW short throw shifter. And I loved that car. That thing was and springs, caster camber plates, coilovers. But engine-wise, I loved it. Loved that car. So much fun. So I fell in love with the Roots twin screw style superchargers. The plans for that car were actually to do a Kenny Bell supercharger, but I ended up selling it before that came to fruition. And it's been, what, 12 years since I've had a Mustang? Yeah, I know. So that's the plan. But overall, really enjoying this car. Today, it's well over 90 degrees. And I can tell you that I do not miss leather at all. Got into the car today. I actually got to a friend's car today who has leather. Sat down in that bad boy and about burnt me alive. Getting this thing cloth, nothing, no problem. Amazing, love it. Fuel economy, man, it's about what you think it's going to be. It's not great. Last month, I spent about $350 in gas. It's a bit, but at the same point in time, I drove a lot, and let me see if this stops. There we go. I drove a lot last month. I took a lot of road trips, and I've just recently gotten the car, so I'm in the throttle a lot. I can't help it. It's just too much daggone fun. The trip that I'm taking is about 2 hours one way. I'm going from the middle part of the state to the coast. My hometown's on the coast, and driving this bad boy in traffic, I just absolutely enjoy. I do not miss changing gears, though. There's certain things about changing gears, though, I do miss, and any of my manual drivers out there will know what I'm talking about. I do miss rolling through a tunnel, sliding that clutch in, and and popping that gas and listening to the engine echo or the exhaust echo through that tunnel or under that bridge. You can do it with this car. Not as easy. It's very interesting. When the times that I have actually, put the car into neutral and hit the gas, the car almost feels like it's still in gear. It wants to lurch. It's really interesting. It scared the Jesus out of me the first time it happened. I wasn't sure what was going on. So that's something I do miss about driving stick. But like I said, if you're on the fence about the stick or the automatic for these cars, I can tell you the automatic's the way to go. And I'm really curious to see what the automatic is able to do when it's boosted as far as keeping the car in the power band. I really think that it's going to be able to keep the car in the power band a lot better than we're going to be able to keep it manually shifting. We'll see. Like I said, I've read a ton about it. I've seen a ton about it. And I'm pretty pumped to see what it's going to do. I do like the paddle shifters, and I dislike the paddle shifters at the same time. When you have it in standard mode and you're wanting to change gears, now maybe this is something that a bunch of you guys already know, or I'm just a noob and don't understand. The car has a delay at lower RPM. So I'm driving around, let's say like right now, I've got the car in standard 58 miles an hour, 5th gear. Hit it, it finally goes in. It's not responsive. Now once it gets to a higher RPM, as soon as you click the paddle, it's shifting gears. I don't know why. I guess it's a built-in safety feature. See, there you go. See, click. I'm going to click. Change gears. Change gears. And I'm above 4,000 RPMs the entire time. Maybe that's what it takes. Maybe you have to be at a certain RPM limit before it has the responsive throttle, or I'm sorry, it has the responsive shift change, gear change. But it's weird. And that's what's I've always disliked about paddle shifters, is that there's not a very good speed with which they change gears. And this seems to be either or. It seems to be both worlds. Sometimes it does it, but if you really get into the car, it's at the high RPM, you pull the shifter paddle and it shifts. I don't know, once again, maybe it's something that everybody else knows that I don't, and it's common knowledge, but that's something I've always just kind of disliked about paddle shifters. I don't use the paddle shifters in this very much. Every once in a while I do. I prefer to let the car do it itself. I think this car shifts better on its own than I shift for it. So I don't use it a lot. The only time that I do use the paddle shifters, which I have found, I talked a little bit earlier about the rev matching. Now, I don't necessarily care for the rev matching in this car. I think rev matching in an automatic is pointless. I like driving in the Sport Plus mode. And I have found, and maybe this is a tip for you guys if you do have one of these. When you hit the brake, obviously, the car is going to downshift and it's going to rev match. And the slower the car goes, it's going to rev match, then it's going to go slower, it's going to downshift, it's going to rev match again. So let's say that you rev match and you start at 3,000 RPMs. Each time the car each time the car decelerates and switches gears, it hits the throttle again. So you can go from 3,000 to like 5,000 RPM with it rev matching when you're slowing down. And I find that just absolutely obnoxious. But what I have found though is that when I am driving and I'm in Sport Plus mode or another mode that has rev matching, and when I get ready to brake, if I go ahead myself and downshift with the shifter paddle, car downshifts, I can apply the brake and it will not rev match all the way down. I mean, for me it was a game changer. So you're driving, you're getting ready to brake, downshift on the shifter paddle and brake, and it will rev match one time, and that's it, which I just prefer. I am considering I don't know if I can or not, and I'll have to talk to, I've actually been talking to Alex from Lund Racing. I've been emailing back and forth. He's just a really cool dude. If you haven't watched his videos, watch his. Alejandro Flores. He does all kinds of stuff on these engines of Mustangs. I'll actually link his channel below. Seeing if maybe I can get them to remove rev matching. I don't know if that's even possible or not. I don't need it. It's pointless for me. I'm not going to autocross this car. I'm just not going. I don't need it. And that would probably be the only application in which you would need rev matching, and even then, it's an automatic. So that's something that you can use, hopefully, to kind of circumvent some of these downshifting rev matching issues with this car. So that's the plans for the car right now. You know, there's some minor things that I need to do, like get, you know, the car coated to protect the paint. The door seal, the ambient light, is not working where it says Mustang, so I'm going to take that to the shop and get that looked at. That's not really a make or break deal for me right now. But overall, just really, really enjoying the car. It is a blast to drive, so much fun. It's like therapy for me every single day, getting in this bad boy and taking a ride. And just really impressive with the performance that these cars have. What this thing is able to do for the price is ridiculous. I am just amazed by it. I'm excited to see a GT 500. You know, I had thought about buying one. I thought about getting my name on the list. And while I like the exclusivity of it, while I've always had cars with snakes on the side of them, the price tag for these, I can't justify $100,000 for a Mustang, you know, and that's what it would cost me to get the one spec the way that I want to, because I want the carbon fiber package. I'd want all that, and I can't swallow that, because really what else I want is a Raptor. And for $100,000, I could easily have this car and a Raptor. And to me, that just makes more sense. And, you know, maybe down the road, you know, because the channel name, NC Badass, I had made this channel some time ago, and it was in preparation, in the anticipation of buying a 2014 GT 500. And I was going to do content about it, and things happened. Deals didn't go through the way they were supposed to with some dealerships. I had a few who quoted me a price, and then when it came time to, you know, buy the car, all of a sudden the car is $5,000 more expensive than what they originally quoted me, all that crap. And so I just kind of said, you know what, this is a sign. I'm going to give up on it and not worry about it, and that's exactly what I did. Shelved it, did some other things, bought a house, this, that, and the other. And actually, when I bought this, I wasn't really planning on buying it. I actually bought I know some of you guys are, they'll be like, call me a trader, but I had bought the Chevrolet ZR2, 2018 ZR2. And I'd wanted a truck, I'd needed a truck for certain things, and I tell you, I bought this truck, and I had it for about 4 months, and I just didn't enjoy it. Not because it was a Chevy per se. Just, you know, this is a $45,000, $50,000 truck, and it just didn't feel like it. And the gas mileage on that thing with a V6 was 16 city, 18 highway. Just let that sink in for a second. Just wasn't enjoying it. And drove by the dealership. I was looking at these, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Drove by the dealership, saw it, took a test drive, and it was the first time I'd driven a Mustang in 12 years. And I was like, I'm done. Yes, I made a very poor financial decision selling a car only 4 months after owning it, after buying it. But at the same point in time, well, I didn't lose my ass on it. Actually, as a matter of fact, I got my full payoff value, and so I got rid of it and back into this. And I thought that there would be a, you know, it'd be difficult going from a truck to a car. I'm telling you what, I haven't thought about that truck since then. I could care less. So, really enjoying this. Getting ready to get to the spot where I can do some test runs. I'm not going to be able to hold the camera and point to the dash, so you guys are just going to have to trust me when I tell you what the car is doing, what it's running. I'll show you some video, some screenshots or whatever afterwards. I'll pan the camera down. And right now I'm wondering how shaky the beginning of this video was, and if I'm going to need to reshoot it, or do I just leave it? We'll see. Alright, well, and next time I'm back on, we'll be doing some 0 to 60 times. Alright, exciting. Alright, coming up to my spot. Now I'm going to preface this by saying I am not a professional. I've never drag raced. I've never been on the track. I have I've street raced, but I've never done drag racing. So I am sure that I am not going to get any type of time, 0 to 60 or anything else, that you guys are going to be happy with, because I've never done this. So we'll see how this goes. We'll experience this together, and you know, hopefully I'll run a few decent times. We'll see. I don't know. So we're going to get here to the head of this. Go ahead and switch it into drag mode. All right. Oh, of course, there is a car coming. There is a car, and there's multiple cars coming. So, track apps, acceleration timer, 0 to 60, automatic start. So I'm going to not bad, 4.7. I didn't show it. Not as good as I thought it would be. I thought this would be a little faster than that. I launched at 1,000 RPMs, so maybe I don't know what I need to do. That track was insane though. I hope it got it barking the tires when it changed gears. Holy cow, scared me to death. That was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. So let's see if we can get another one here. Oh wow, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Holy cow. 4.7. I feel like these cars can go, or this car can do a little bit better than that. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. I just feel like. Try this again. Here we go. Oh shit, of course it's a car coming. Don't know if we're going to get a 1/4 mile time on this. We probably won't, but we'll see. Another car coming. Now, my secret little airport strip is proving not to be as dessert as I thought it was going to be. All right, let's see. Can I get this in? 0 to 60. Oh, another car, and it's a cop. All right. Let's try it one more time. Automatic start. Got so excited. Let's try one more time. All right. Everybody behind. Okay, to begin, accelerate to start. 1,000. 0 to 60 at 4.6. You know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not going to sit out here and beat the shit out of the car. Oops, I'm going to bleep that out. I'm not going to sit out here and beat the crap out of the car. But, you know, it's fun, and I'll take it. 4.6. Like I said, I'm sure there's some people out there who are getting low 4s and, you know, whatever else. Like I said, I'm not an expert, and I've never officially calculated the 0 to 60 times. So that was kind of fun. And you know what, we'll take it. For me, it's about having fun with the car and enjoying it, and that's exactly what this was. I am still blown away at the fact that this car would mark the tires when changing gears. I have never ever had an automatic that will do that, and Jesus, that is just really cool. So maybe what we'll do up here, let me stop and do a quick peek at the times so you guys can see what it actually ran. I'd love to get a quarter mile, but there's just I don't think that's going to be worth it. Stop, pull over. This is good. All right, let's look and see. Let's see what the results are. So there you go. 0 to 32.3 seconds, 0 to 64.6. Kind of cool that this car has that, and we'll play around this a little bit more later. But pretty neat. So there you go. Drag mode's pretty fun. I like it. Don't think it's very good for trying to keep rubber on your wheels, but you know what? I can see how if I was an avid drag racer, that would be a lot of fun to take to the track and see. And eventually we will. Eventually we will go to the track. We'll get some tires and we'll go to the track and play around. But you know, I'm not really too concerned about doing that right now. For me, it's just, you know, about just having some fun with the car, not necessarily going to the necessarily not going to the track and, you know, beating the mess out of it. I'm just, you know, enjoying being back in a Mustang. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. And at some point, we will get a quarter mile time. There's some other places that we can go to do that. This isn't the only spot. Probably need to invest in a radar detector before I do that. Don't necessarily need to be getting any speeding tickets or reckless driving tickets here in North Kakalaki. But there you go. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Hope it wasn't too boring. I know there's a lot of people making content out there with these Mustangs and whatnot. And you know, for me, it's just fun. I enjoy driving the car. I enjoy talking about the car, and honestly, I enjoy editing the videos. So if people watch them and they can get something from it, learn something from it, and enjoy it, cool. And if not, it doesn't really make a difference to me because I enjoy this whole process anyway. And there you go. So once again, thanks, and I will see you guys soon.